That's exactly right, dear. Let me show you something. This is the sign he left behind. This place will be closed for a few days pending the outcome of this investigation. And you can see this is the door that the crooks broke in through, the 4 crooks that they're looking for this morning. The good thing, all 4 were caught on surveillance camera. Take a look at this. There are several of these cameras posted throughout this morning. Investigators are speaking with witnesses, trying to gather as much information about this case as they can. What they have been able to find out this morning is that this all started out as a fight between 2 rival groups in this community. Investigators believe that these crooks are possibly behind 5 crimes that have hit this area in the past few weeks. In one case, about $10,000 were stolen. Now, these facilities are known to have a lot of money on hand, especially following huge events like bingo night. And it's called a distraction scam. And this morning, we're telling you exactly what to look out for.
ABC Action News
reporter. At this point, they don't know how dangerous this guy could possibly be. All of this happened right at the Sears store right behind. Deputies tell us they discovered new information during the process of this investigation, and they want to sort all of this out before any sort of charges are filed. However, they tell us they are thankful that this young boy was found safe and sound. Of course, all of this started when he was snatched, witnesses say, right out front of this daycare center by his own father. This burned out car here, just a small example of the damage left behind following this massive brush fire here at Indian Lake Estates. Ahead in a live report, residents described for us the moment all of this happened and how they quickly made it away to safety.
Multi-million-dollar deal.
And have you ever wondered which Super Bowl food recipes are the most searched in each state? Details on that and much more in today's Tech Bite. I have to try this delicious concoction before we leave. I have to do it. It's thumbs up. I got to give it to you. It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Investigators spent the night here gathering evidence, trying to figure out exactly what this guy was up to. Their number one goal was basically to ensure that this community was supposed to work pretty simply. A group of experts here at MacDill Air Force Base actually searched social media sites like Facebook looking for potential people who may want to join these terrorists. And right now, St. Pete police searching for the gunman who opened fire, killing a teenager in the middle of a busy market. This all happened around 6:30 last night. In fact, this weekend, the president spent time at his South Florida estate. It's being called the Winter White House. Now, of course, during the campaign season, President Trump spent a lot of time in Florida and right here in Tampa, but this will be his first visit to the Tampa area since taking office. He's set to be here at 11:30 this morning. ABC Action News reporter Jake Peterson live outside of police headquarters this morning. And Jake, what leads are police working with this morning? Basically, that plan put in place in South Florida is pretty much the same project that will be put in place right here in Tampa. For right now, drivers right here in Tampa will simply have to wait on those express lanes. They are ready. They had a dress rehearsal last night and everything went smoothly, and performers say they are ready for those performances tonight. They're simply thankful that no one was killed in that accident. We do have a bit of video to show you from those rehearsals last night. I know usually you don't get to take a picture with a guy as handsome as me, so, anything I can do for you.
Yeah, hey, we're right in the same category, you and me.
There you go. Two handsome fellas. How about that?
Guys here at the fair.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to have fun with them this morning. Hopefully get on a few rides, and let me tell you guys, I'm already eating, and for good reason. Take a look at this car, completely gutted out by this fire. All of this happening just feet away from this home. Now, this is damage that we've seen throughout this area this morning, and thankfully, no one has been hurt.
I'm really thankful that he was here. He followed us here. He got us, out when he did.
Erica Barleen breathing a sigh of relief this morning and sending a note of thanks to the Polk County firefighter that got her family out.
Came in the house, grabbed the kids, the dogs, cats, threw us in the truck. We backed up and it was right next door.
Arriving back at her Indian Lake Estates home this morning, hours after an emergency evacuation. 800 homes in all.
It went down the trees. It hit all the brush because that's all super thick.
The family's sedan destroyed, as well as a shed out back. But her home saved. The Polk County Fire Department is warning this morning that many hotspots remain and that people who live in the area will likely see some small fires in wooded areas.
The heat was just intense.
Stephen Hall taking the proactive approach, dousing his yard, hoping to avoid any problems.
I've got vinyl siding on that side of the house on a porch, and it just melted.
Despite the damage to several vehicles and property, thankfully, no one was injured, something those here are taking as a positive.
Unbelievably thankful.
And just to give you guys another example of how intense this fire was, check this out. Pieces of the rim of this car simply melted off. Definitely an intense and dangerous situation. Now, throughout the day today, Polk County firefighters will be going throughout this area, hitting those hot spots, ensuring that this community is safe. All of this as folks in this neighborhood come back home this morning, hopefully to find their homes intact and hopefully not too much damage around their homes as well. For now, reporting live in Polk County, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. This investigation is far from over. Deputies wanted to ensure that this community was safe, and now that this guy is behind bars, they'll have plenty of questions for him this morning. 23-year-old Kenneth Iverson faces a long list of charges, including possession of meth and resisting an officer. Hillsborough County deputies arrested Iverson after investigators say he purchased materials consistent with bomb making. The investigation leading them to this Sarasota home.
Well, I walked out my house and there were just ambulances, fire trucks, like all up and down the street.
A hazmat team, along with the FBI and deputies from Sarasota and Hillsborough County, searched through this home he shares with his mother, looking for potentially dangerous materials. Neighbors understandably stunned.
I haven't lived here for long, but I mean, I guess it would be surprising for any neighborhood.
This is crazy, and we just had no idea what was going on.
We reached out to the family. A woman answering at the Tonga Drive home had nothing to say. Hey, Miss Iverson? This is not Iverson's first run-in with the law. Just last week, he was arrested in Sarasota County on gun and drug charges. Now, another round of legal troubles and another mugshot in a week's time. And this morning, we'll be speaking with investigators to find out exactly what those materials were that he bought at the store. We'll also be speaking with them to find out what, if anything, they found inside of this home last night, as well as any possible additional charges. For now, reporting live in Sarasota, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. The members of this group gathering just about 30 minutes ago. They're expected to be here till about 1 o'clock this afternoon. A pretty small group right now, but more and more people are coming. They're expecting about 70 protesters out here this morning. They're calling this a Trump not welcome rally. Now, of course, this is something that we've been seeing throughout the country for the past 2 weeks since President Donald Trump has been in office. Many of those protesters here concerned about the president's policy and where they say the country is headed.
My issue is that his xenophobia, hate-mongering, and fear-mongering is creating a social and political atmosphere that's unwelcoming.
President Donald Trump's first visit to Tampa since taking office, sparking protests outside MacDill this morning.
It's fueling an already bifurcated society. I mean, we're at the most polarized politically that we've been probably in years.
This group speaking out against the president, concerned over recent executive orders to penalize sanctuary cities and travel restrictions placed on some Muslim countries.
And people are feeling unsafe. That's violence. People in other lands, people in transit here, people that live here and fear traveling, that fear is constant violence that Trump is instilling into our community and other communities across the country.
All of it a backdrop for Trump's Monday morning arrival at MacDill. The president will get command briefings from both Central Command and Special Operations. He's also set to have lunch with enlisted troops before addressing a group of the military. The president will be joined by Joint Chiefs Chairman General Joseph Dunford and National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Those here hoping to send a message to the president.
The people are the power, and it's important to speak truth to power.
And if you can see off there in the distance, Tampa police officers also on scene here, so they have plenty of security just in case to ensure that things stay safe here as these folks protest the president's visit today. Of course, we will be covering all of the protests today, as well as President Trump's visit. For updated information throughout the day, you can always go online to abcactionnews.com. For now, reporting live outside MacDill Air Force Base, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. Investigators are speaking with witnesses this morning, trying to gather as much information on this case as they can. They hope to make an arrest pretty soon.
It was like, that's all you heard. It was like, oh my God.
Neighbors walking us through the terrifying moments bullets started flying here at this apartment complex along Lily White Court in Ybor City.
I looked out the door, was a guy running there with a spray just spraying a gun.
This morning, Tampa police saying all of it starting as a fight between two rival neighborhood groups, apparently all over a girl. 17-year-old Tion Millage was killed. Another 17-year-old and a 16-year-old were hit, but are expected to be okay.
I was sitting in my living room watching TV, and I laid down on the floor.
The gunplay sparking just as the annual night parade was wrapping up just about a block away.
I grabbed a child, pushed it in the house, twist my ankle, and when they say stop, drop, and roll, I didn't roll, but I stopped, drop, and I had to crawl in my neighbor's house. And in the neighbor's house, we were on the floor.
Police believe there is more than one shooter. As the hunt continues, people who live here, understandably, on guard. And investigators will be speaking with those surviving victims this morning, hoping to get some important information from them. Of course, we'll be checking with police later on today to find out if they're any closer to making an arrest in this case. For now, reporting live in Ybor City, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. And for good reason, Diaz. Some workers say they've actually seen this guy before, and this morning investigators don't know how dangerous he could potentially be, as well as possibly investigating this morning if there could be more victims.
That's sick. That's disgusting. How they able to get in there is beyond me.
As the word continues to spread about the guy in these photos, so does the shock and concern.
Like, why would you do that?
Women shopping at the Brandon Town Center Mall worried following the news and release of these pictures. Hillsborough deputy saying the man in these pics caught snapping photos of a 31-year-old woman inside of a Sears dressing room. This particular incident happening in January.
I mean, if I saw his face, I'd definitely be on the lookout for him.
By the time police arrived, he was gone. However, the store's surveillance cameras capturing these images, investigators say will be key in tracking him down. Shoppers we spoke with plan to keep a watchful eye out.
I just kind of look to see if, again, if anybody should be there. I mean, I'm always looking over my shoulder to say, I don't think this person should be here. And whenever I do go in there, I just pick one that's closest to the wall, and then I just make sure it's closed and nobody can look around. I'm like, okay.
And investigators are warning women this morning to definitely be aware of their surroundings and to report anything suspicious. This morning, Crime Stoppers is offering a cash reward for any sort of information that could possibly lead to an arrest in this case. Of course, we'll keep you updated on any tips that they receive. For now, reporting live in Brandon this morning, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. Investigators say 5 of these places have been hit in recent weeks. In fact, in one of these cases, about $10,000 was stolen. Now, this morning, deputies are looking over surveillance video caught on cameras right outside of these VFWs, hopeful that it will lead them to an arrest and help out in this case.
They came into my house and violated my house. They don't have a right to do that.
Kimmy Dawson pretty upset, with good reason. The canteen manager at this Pasco VFW shocked crooks are targeting vets.
They really don't. They didn't do anything to help this country. They're hurting the country. Stay out of my house.
Take a look at the surveillance video we got from the sheriff's office showing the thieves in action. 5 break-ins across the county in recent weeks. These locations known to have plenty of cash on hand following events like bingo night.
It is a trend. It's a trend now happening not only in our county, but it's happened in Hernando County and Sumter County as well. So we're taking this very seriously.
Investigators telling us they're in and out pretty fast. The most recent case here early Thursday. The crooks leaving empty-handed, though.
They came in, pulled out the drawer to the file cabinet, thinking that they could pull the drawer out and unbolt the safe, but that's not how it works at 4412. It's it's not bolted there. That's all I'll say.
And this morning, members of VFWs across this area are beefing up security as well as adding additional security cameras, hoping to ensure that these places are safe and secure until investigators can possibly make an arrest in this case. For now, reporting live in Pasco County this morning, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. Investigators telling us this morning this was an elaborate scheme by the boy's father to take this little boy. However, investigators this morning still have not decided whether they will be filing charges in this case.
It's huge. like we said from the beginning, the first priority was the safety of Bane.
Deputies tell us they discovered new information during this investigation, and they're reviewing everything before they make a move.
Everything else we'll sort out later. So now we have him recovered safely, and now it's just a matter of piecing things together and figuring out what happened.
They're simply thankful this all ended with that young boy being returned safe and sound. It all started right in this lot when the father grabbed the boy from his mother.
Nobody really knew what was going on. We had several parents in the parking lot that witnessed it as well.
A statewide Amber Alert was issued after 2-year-old Bane Wheeler was taken by his estranged father, Daniel Wheeler, who lives in Tennessee. All of this happening as the boy's mother was walking him into Cedar View Learning Center right here.
She chased the truck and we immediately called 911.
Bane's father eventually calling deputies, telling them the two were in Orlando. Now, investigators also tell us that Daniel Wheeler had just lost a custody battle for his son on Tuesday morning. We'll be speaking with investigators this morning and finding out more about this family's history and if they had prior problems before this. Reporting from Pasco County, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. And of course, this is a heated debate that continues to heat up not only across the country, but right here in Hillsborough County.
What do we want? Justice!
Passion growing over the Sanctuary City fight.
You come for one, you take us all.
Protesters rallying ahead of the Diversity Council meeting. Just some of the growing number of voices speaking out on this issue. Here's a breakdown of what sanctuary cities or counties actually are. They offer safe harbor for undocumented immigrants who might otherwise be deported by federal immigration officials. There are more than 140 sanctuary cities and counties across the U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order that would withhold federal grant money from sanctuary cities.
We shouldn't feel like targets.
The Hillsborough County Diversity Advisory Council heard from hundreds of people.
I'm afraid of living in a police state where we do not trust our law enforcement, where entire communities are forced to live underground, where people do not report crimes because they're afraid of being detained or deported.
Those for the plan say Hillsborough County should be a safe place for all. We spoke with one woman who says her uncle was deported after getting a traffic ticket.
He was taken into jail. There was a detainer put on him for being undocumented, and he was deported a couple of days after with no bond opportunity.
However, those against the move concerned about the possible financial impact.
You're breaking the law, and you're going to take my tax dollars, and you're going to have to defend this illegal action.
And the next county commission meeting is set for the 15th of this month. We'll be checking later today to see if this issue will be on the agenda. For now, reporting live in downtown Tampa, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News.